Hello Super Sentai fans and welcome back to Toku Topics. Today I'm taking a look at the Change Heroes series DonMomotaro and ToQger Alter's set. So these are essentially our mecha for the year, at least to kind of start out with. We are going to get a more proper Sentai mecha in June called Don Onitajin, but we're not there yet. For the first half of the season, and also still going into the summer because we're going to get more of these, is going to be this whole Alter thing going on. So of course we have DonMomotaro Alter, which is going to be kind of the first mecha that shows up in the series, besides Don Zenkaio, but that's kind of a special case. And then our first legendary Alter is going to be the ToQger Alter, which is based off of the Red Resha that can combine with DonMomotaro Alter to make whatever this thing is. So this is definitely a very interesting creation. The box art on this is really cool. I bought this for the gear, so it's definitely an interesting design. And I think these are going to be really fun toys because it is part of the Change Heroes figure line. Technically, it's definitely a little bit of a different thing. It's kind of like a mixture between Change Heroes and like a Sentai Mecha kind of line. But it is compatible with the Zenkaiger stuff from last year in terms of the Kikinoids, how they could all split in numerous different pieces. And also it's sort of compatible, but they don't really split into pieces. The Change Hero action figures we took a look at a couple days ago of the Donbrothers team themselves. This is sold separately. You can get these separately if you'd like. DonMomotaro Alter by himself, and then the ToQger Alter with the gear by itself. There is a gear for DonMomotaro Alter. However, it was only included in the first set of Avataro gears, so you cannot get it with this, but it's kind of weird that you can't. But this is what he uses to become that. And then the ToQger gear is exclusive to the Red Resha, or in the set here like we have here. So on the top, it just says 01 being for DonMomotaro Alter and 02 for ToQger. You have the ToQger logo. You have both of the alters right there. On the side here, they do demonstrate kind of the parts forming. And this right here, you can see this is part of the ToQger Alter, which will be coming out in April. So you can like swap the shoulder pads and do a bunch of other wacky stuff. His base DonMomotaro Alter already kind of looks like a sort of a Dyrano kind of thing going on. It definitely has it with the shoulder pads and everything. And also with the chest to a certain extent. On the other side, you have the Resha once again, and then you have the peach mode of DonMomotaro Alter, because he can turn into a peach with the peach leaves and everything there. And this is what we actually see in the first episode, him arriving to Earth in like 20 whatever years ago it was, kind of in that, prequel scene or, intro scene. And on the bottom, you just get DonMomotaro Alter, and then you get to the combination with ToQger. I'm not exactly sure what that is called. Maybe like the ToQger DonMomotaro Alter, but that is the official combination. But there's so many different pieces and parts you can do to make a bunch of random stuff. And then on the back here is kind of demonstrating that, which will move the camera up a tad so you can actually see that. But yeah, there's a bunch of different things. This is the official combinations, and then over here, it's like, hey, here's the ToQger Alter coming out in April, and then hey, if you got those last year, the Zenkaigers, this works with them too. So yeah, very fun. Definitely going to be an interesting kind of mecha figure line to take a look at. So let's go ahead and open it up. Alright, so here is everything that you get out of the box. You basically get two trays, basically exactly like what it would have been like if you bought them individually. You just get one tray with the ToQger Alter up in the front, and then this tray in the back, and then there you go. You have both of the things. So first of all, let's take a look at DonMomotaro Alter, which is already essentially in his peach mode. I think basically all you have to do from there is just rotate the legs around. Backwards. There we go. Kind of finagle the legs a little bit, and that essentially right there is the peach mode. So he already kind of comes like that. Maybe straighten up the feet a little better. Something like that. Maybe a little closer. But yeah, there we go. There was his peach mode. So I can kind of just rest there. Ooh, I bumped the light. You do get a sword with this thing, which is basically a giant version of the Zon class sword. This does not spin or anything like that. It's not really painted or, it's nicely sculpted. But there's not a ton of detail on there or anything like that. Then you get this little piece right here, which I know is used to connect the gears to the back of DonMomotaro. It has one of the ports. Doesn't spin. You can manually move it. But this is one of those ports. Basically, like if they just took the port from the end of ride-on and just made it a little piece. So that's what allows the gears. And of course, you can use any gear. So like here's the Pato Ranger one. Any gear from the Donbrothers storyline that has the little connector in the back will work. So that I'm not exactly sure where that goes on DonMomotaro Alter, to be perfectly honest with you, but obviously it's going to go somewhere. And then to turn him into the kind of more proper DonMomotaro Alter, Oh, there goes his leg. So there's a lot of Change Hero ports all over him. So let me just try to angle it properly. So he's got these giant, like, tennis shoe things going on. Let me move the light a little bit so I don't keep bumping it. And these can kind of untab. Oh, there goes his entire leg. So there we go. So those untab, the arms can fold out. And then that can kind of just finagle there. And you got something like that going on. So let's move up a little bit so you can see the full thing. And that is DonMomotaro Alter. So I like the design of it. I think I like it a little bit better actually having it in hand. I think you can just go ahead and take this peg and store it back here for safekeeping. I think that's pretty much where it goes anyway. You do get a bunch of little ports back here and everything that look like they're probably the same port. So yeah, you can put this on any of these ports all over him. So he's got a lot of functionality there. You plug it into his butt. Yeah, you know you can plug into his butt, so there's that. But yeah, I mean, he definitely feels like a little bit of a flimsy figure, but it's definitely a cool one. You can see the head there. We'll do a little comparison. There is the head on the gear and the head on the actual altar itself. Can that unpeg? Yes, it can. Can you peg this onto his back? Or actually, can you peg that into his butt? Yes, you can. I need to stop doing that. But so a lot of the ports are very universal on here. Just like the Zenkaiger Change Heroes were last year, which is why this is labeled under the Change Hero line. But it is our Mecha. It is our Mecha of the year, and it's fun actually. You know, now that I have it in hand, I didn't regret this purchase, but to be honest, I mainly was after the ToQger stuff here because this was an exclusive gear you can only get with the ToQger Alter, so I needed it for that. And I was like, well, I might as well get the combo set because if I'm going to get the ToQger Alter, I'm going to want to combine it with DonMomotaro Alter. So it worked out in the end. So we'll go ahead and store this back here so I don't lose it. And then it looks like you can just... how would he hold this? I guess he has to hold on this little handle part. Yeah, there you go. So that's him holding it. And I don't even know how many pieces this dude can come apart into. You can take his arms off. You separate them there. I'm sure these are on ball joints down here, but I'm sure you can unpeg them. Let's see, it comes apart right there, so that's cool. He has a lot of articulation, obviously because of the way he disconnects and reconnects and does whatever. It makes me think of like the Plot monsters from Wizard. I always love that kind of mechanic of being able to take all these things apart and making a bunch of other random stuff with it. And this is obviously no exception. You can do a ton of stuff with this. But yeah, I think it's cool. It almost makes you think of, there's like this Ninjago robot that I had when I was younger. It makes me think of that a lot, especially with like the chest symbol and everything. So I like it for that reason. He's got the giant shoes. He's got the giant sword. He's also very kind of Gaim Suika Arms-esque. So there's that to him. If you're curious how he compares to the actual Change Heroes series figure of DonMomotaro, which we'll have him stand up here. Oop. Very loose legs on this dude. There is the comparison, so you can see his altar is significantly taller than him. So there is that. But it is cool to get both of these guys together now. I do like that. But I don't really think there's much else to say about him specifically. Obviously, you can see all these ports all over the place. You can see the detail. You can kind of figure out how this would work in terms of like what kind of wacky combinations you can make based off of what is available. So let's go ahead and take a look at the ToQger Resha, or ToQger Alter, which is just a Resha, which you can combine to the back of the train, or combine. I mean, it just kind of rests there, and it will sort of turn. I mean, this is a brand new piece, but for the most part, this is just a ToQger Resha. I think this is a little bigger, perhaps. I don't actually have any ToQger Resha. I have a couple of the Legend ones, but I don't have any of the regular ToQger Resha, but this is essentially just one of the ToQger Resha gimmicks from that season. So obviously it's a little bit redesigned because they have the Donbrothers logo there, which obviously was not there however many years ago ToQger was. 8 years ago? Wow. Oh, wait, right there on the front. You have the peach as well. That's brand new. You got the peach back there. And then, of course, you can split this in half if you didn't notice the obvious seam down the middle. And there's no peach symbol in there, but this is going to be for like the legs of the combination, the official combination. You take the front off, you have another one of those Donbrothers logos hidden behind there. So Not much else this Russia can really do on its own. It does have wheels on the bottom. It does wheel around pretty nice. And then you have this whole like guardrail piece that it comes with for its back, which will become kind of those pincher claw arms for the official combination. So that is fun to kind of, do I have it on the right end? I do not. To have it rest there, and you can have just the Russia chug along and do whatever. Obviously, it's a cool piece on its own, but it's really better if you have DonMomotaro Alter to actually do something with it officially. But you do get an Avataro Gear Alter with it, and that is right here. So here's the ToQger Avataro Gear Alter, which looks very similar to the ToQger Avataro Gear in general. Picture is basically the same, except this one has that shiny holographic sticker. It also has like this design that goes all the way around it. So there is that. And obviously this one is more sparkly. It's translucent blue. It also has a brand new gear combination. I was just thinking of like two different words there. But it does have two notches, gear combinations, whatever you want to call it, for the different sounds. So it is not the exact same as the original Sentai Gear version. This does have a brand new sound in the Dawn Blaster, which we'll take a look at here in a second. And it also has a brand new number code, which is number 71. Yeah, 71. Let me hit the light right there. 71. So, of course, since it is after number 65, it will not work in any Zenkaiger toys. So, let's go ahead and bring in the Dawn Blaster. And take a look at what it does. So that's definitely a new standby. So it says DonMomotaro, I believe is what it said. So that makes me believe that that's what the combination between these two toys is called. I don't think the finisher will do anything special, but we can give it a shot. Yeah, this seemed to be pretty much the same as always. So that is what that gear does. Was it worth getting the whole set for? I don't know. But it's still obviously very fun toys here if you're not just a gear collector. So let me look at the box for this toy again so I can try to do the combination properly. Because I want to do it show accurately. So let's see. Let's put this in the back. So we'll kind of use it as a reference. So we're going to make that thing, which I know doesn't use all of the pieces of DonMomotaro Alter. So it doesn't use his sword. Obviously, you can make whatever kind of combination you want. So you could have it included if you wanted to. You could not. It does look like we don't use his arms at all. So I've seen people make better combinations that do use all the pieces of DonMomotaro Alter. And if you can do that, more power to you. But let's see, what else? I do believe that his legs just go up like that, I think. Because then this spins around. Yeah, that looks right. Then you're going to take the Russia apart. You're going to take this front piece apart. Separate it there. And this one... Is it this one? Yeah, this one has the peg in it. This one does not. So this one is going to peg into him somehow. But I actually don't know how it's going to do that. Interesting. You're going to want to have these opened. And I think you have them peg in, yeah, peg one in here. You peg the other one in there. But I still don't know exactly how you peg the trains in. Because it's got to, it's got to be able to do it somehow. Oh, I figured it out. So there's like these sliding platforms that come out of the train. I never would have figured that out unless I just accidentally did. Well, I guess I could have looked at the instruction manual, which is like a PDF. So I'm assuming this one will do the same. Yes, it will. So, okay, that makes a lot of sense. It also opens a lot of opportunities to make some weird combinations with that. So then we'll pan it down a little bit because we are kind of starting to cut it out of the frame. Then this piece is just going to clip in. I think there's a little clip down there. It would kind of just rest in the center of the chest. It kind of clips in. It feels pretty sturdy though. And then last but not least, you're going to take the ToQger Alter and peg it there on the back. And that is this thing, the DonMomotaro. It's fun. It's definitely a very weird thing. He's got these big, pinchers. I'm trying to see if there's any available ports. I don't see really any available ports on him, but you can do some wacky combinations and still try to use his arms somewhere. That's pretty much the only thing you're not using. You're not using the arms, and therefore you're not using the sword. So you do get some parts left over, but then of course you can make whatever you want. You can make these show accurate combinations, you can make these really weird things. So this is definitely interesting, it's definitely fun, and having it in hand, I definitely am gonna see myself picking this up and fiddling with it on my desk while I'm on my computer or something like that. It is pretty fun. So we'll go ahead and separate this back into its original pieces as we kind of just wrap it up here. But yeah, this is pretty much it as a kind of a little review of the Change Hero series alters of DonMomotaro Alter and the ToQger Alter. So I highly recommend it. If you are a gear collector, you're going to pretty much have to get this set, or at least the ToQger Alter. You could skip DonMomotaro, but then what are you going to do with the ToQger Alter unless you just have the gear? So there is that, but there's going to be a bunch of these. We know about the Joja one that's been officially announced. The ones that have not been officially announced, but we know are coming, are the Resoldier. I almost said Kyoryuger, but the Resoldier Alter is coming, and then the Ninja Alter is coming sometime in the... Ooh, a little piece of black plastic fell off of that. Oh, it was the wheel. There we go. So that is it. Oh, wait. And there we go. So that is it for the Change Hero series Alter set of DonMomotaro Alter and the ToQger Alter. So I do have the Joja one on pre-order. We'll see how that one goes. It definitely looks very fun and interesting. And then I'm also very interested in what the Resoldier and the Ninja ones are going to look like, and of course the Six Ranger. And we're going to be having this rival character, this new purple ranger that's going to be showing up that's going to have an altar of their own. So we'll just kind of see where it goes, and I'll review any of the ones that I pick up. But until next time, you can follow me on Twitter at LivingRangerKey or at LightningFigPR. And I hope you all have been enjoying these Don Brother videos. This is going to be the last one for a little bit. I've already taken a look at the gear sets and this and everything. And well, actually, no. Candy Toy Set 1 is going to be coming out here pretty soon. So I'll be taking a look at that when it comes out and whenever I get it. So, yep, until next time, like I said, follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you all later.